we'll look at that. Let's save the Stanley Cup final for a little later here. We haven't really dug into the Canucks here, and there's not been a lot of news, but there's been a lot of discussion. The big one about the outstanding performance from Artur Silovs in the World Championship for Latvia. They get the bronze medal. Calgary Wrangler Christian Rubens gets the winning goal for bronze. I think Latvia is one of the best stories of hockey this year. I think it's just great the way that they, bronze or not, they celebrated it like they won the championship. So I think that's great for Latvia. And I think it's great for Artur Silovs to allow him to take the next step in his career. He played very well. And that's, I think, bodes very well for him. It bodes very well for the Vancouver Canucks. What that does not mean, Sean, is that you should trade Artur Silovs at his highest value, which is not his highest value at this point. You would get if a GM would trade for Artur Silovs now, I would scratch my head. It does not mean that you should trade Thatcher Demko at this particular point because Artur Silovs had a wonderful world championship. Ask the Vegas Golden Knights how they got to the Stanley Cup final.
How many goalies did they use?
Right? So you're not trading Artur Silovs. You're not trading Spencer Martin. You're not trading Thatcher Demko. You're just letting them develop. This is very similar in a lot of ways to the growth spurt that a lot of people saw when Andrew Mangiapane had that World Cup of it a couple of years ago, and everyone thought, here comes Mangiapane. And Mangiapane came, and he's had a bit of a stumble. Silovs will grow, but he will have wouldn't be surprising if he has a bit of a stumble here and there as well. He needs to stay in the organization. He needs to continue to put in the work, and you have a battle for a backup position for Thatcher Demko. And he played a bit in Abbotsford for the playoffs as well. So he's, you have a battle for the backups. That's what you come up with here. Nothing more, nothing less.
Even then, Silovs is very young, especially for a goaltender.
Yep.
And it's not like he's absolutely ripped up the AHL. He's not Dustin Wolf, coming off back-to-back years of being the best goaltender in the AHL. At this point, the best thing for Silovs' career would be to be getting I want to see the majority of the starts in Abbotsford, and then getting spot starts with the Canucks throughout the year.
Yeah,
and just going that, just not necessarily being. I don't think being the backup to Demko makes a lot of sense for him either. I think he needs to play. So yeah, he's 22 years old, and just let him develop some more. Remember, we're also talking about a guy who did in that horrible, weird pandemic season, he in terms of he only got one start in the AHL that year. And it was with the Manitoba Moose. So
Mikey DiPietro couldn't get a start anywhere, and that derailed his career.
Exactly. So then he comes back and plays 10 games last year with the Abbotsford Canucks, as well as 10 games in the ECHL, and with mixed results. And he's finally starting to find his game. So just don't rush it. Goaltenders, for the most part, don't rush them. Unless they absolutely knock your socks off and tell you, no, you need to bring me up and play me in the NHL. You slow play them. Unless you're doing Dustin Wolf stuff, you slow play them.
Well, you
And
look
even
back
then,
at that too.
there'd be arguments about what to do with. There's going to be arguments of what to do with Dustin Wolf going into next season with the
Yeah, there
Flames.
already
So
are. Yeah.
yeah. So at this point, like it should like it shouldn't even be a discussion. It should be just like unless he knocks your socks off in camp and like actually pushes, not only for the backup role but for starts. You're playing him in the AHL because he needs games.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you look at that 2019 draft in terms of goaltenders. You got Hugo Einfeld, has played one game. Dustin Wolf's been in that draft. He's played one game. You've got, um, I'm going backwards in terms of the draft, or let's see who else was there. This is the
In the
Spencer
2019 draft, Spencer Knight, Peter Kochetkov, Matt
Yeah,
Sogard are like the big ones.
yeah, Knight's played 57 games, and I think people had higher expectations of him than where he is right now. I mean,
and goalies are we still haven't reached a point where you're comfortable with goalies year in and year out. And he's also Spencer Knight's also going through a lot some stuff as well.
Some own personal stuff.
Yeah, some personal stuff as well. So there's not like there's more to that story. And Silovs was a 6th round pick, right? So it's not like and somehow drafted ahead of Dustin Wolf.
That's a fascinating. That's a good draft, man. That 2019 turns out, especially some late round picks. There's some hits there. Anyway, tangenting, but I agree with you. Like, just let the player develop, and also I think this Vancouver market struggles to celebrate the six. Everyone is happy for Roberto Luongo, but if when it comes to a player that is successful in their own jersey, this becomes a question: do you trade him, or what do you do? Like, we got to get an asset for him, and I just celebrate the guy having a great playoff, having a great world championship, and taking a step, and just leave it there. Just leave it there. It doesn't need to be anything more than that. It doesn't.
Yeah, it's insane. Like they're like, well, we want bold moves. That's not the bold move. That is just we want assets. Well, he is an asset. You want to get younger. You want to have assets. You want to continue building this goaltender pipeline. You can't just. I'm very frustrated sometimes with the narratives that come out, and it's just it's just calm down. Calm down, guys. To quote Tyler, calm down, guys.
Yeah,
it's really time to just sit, like know that this is good for the Canucks, and giving him more time in the AHL is not a bad thing. It's actually a very fucking good thing.
Yeah.